ask you something. Are you someone who completely loses himself when it comes to food? Because I was. And what surprised me the most was that the answer was not more discipline. It was giving myself some breathing room and letting go of control. For the longest time, food was never just food to me. Food always had a label. Food was either good or it was bad. I was either eating good for my body or I was eating bad for my body. And then, to make it all worse, I would beat myself up for it. I always had rules. Keto, fasting, not eating till noon. Always a strict plan I had to follow. Every bite was controlled. Every decision felt so heavy. Can you relate to that? Because honestly, I believed that more control and more discipline, that was the answer. Here's the real truth. None of that ever lasted. It always turned into binge eating. And the harder I tried to control food, the louder the food became in my head. It was miserable. And the moment I started noticing how loud food actually was, this is when things started to shift for me. I want to show you a clip. I actually filmed it a while ago because it fits perfectly. Number one, just how long I've actually been working on my relationship with food. But it basically shows like two versions of me. Looking at this donut, let me just input it so that you guys can follow along and watch.
Gosh, even just looking at that, I'm gonna gain weight. It's just a donut. You always lose control with stuff like this. I love that I can enjoy this and still show up for my goals. You don't deserve to eat like this. I trust myself now. This is what I carried for far too long. But it wasn't because of the donut. It wasn't because of the food I ate. It's because of the thoughts I carried. It has taken me about 8 months to start rewriting my thoughts. Not diets, not meal plans, but learning to stop shaming myself every time I ate. That's the real shift. So stop labeling food. Try saying, it's just food. Swap judgment with curiosity. Why am I feeling this way? Start noticing the thought and don't believe it. Ask yourself, would I say this to a friend? Food doesn't define your worth ever. Give yourself permission to enjoy it and move on. You're not broken. You're not alone. You are buried in your own thoughts. Start shredding them. Stop fighting food and start healing. Be real.
Oh my gosh, when I look back at that clip, it is wild. One version of me is completely judging everything. I can't eat this. This is bad. This is going to make me gain weight. Can you relate to that? The other version is just like, nice. It's a donut. It's going to taste great. This clip might be old, but it truly sums up my relationship with food and how it's shifted in letting go of that control around food. Today, eating looks so different for me, and honestly, it is way simpler than all of the rules and control that I used to have. I made it way more complicated than I needed to. And these are a couple little things that I did to shift my thought process around food. I just started eating my meals, and I used protein as an anchor, and that was my non-negotiable. Do I have snacks sometimes? Sure, especially between like lunch and supper time. Of course. Do I eat cookies? Abso-freaking-lutely. But here's the difference now. When I eat a cookie, there is no shame. There is no guilt. There's no spiraling. It's literally food. It's calories. That's it. And yes, calories can serve different purposes. Sometimes calories are there to fuel our bodies. Sometimes calories just fuel our soul. The real shift happens when you stop judging yourself and you stop judging food. The moment I stopped calling food good or bad and I finally found some neutrality in food, that's when things started to shift. So if you're listening to this and you're feeling overwhelmed, don't try to fix everything. Just pick one thing. Pick one meal or even just one day to focus on during the week. Make your promise and make your focus so simple, almost so boring that you cannot not follow through with it. Because every time you're following through with promises that you make, you're building trust with yourself. And when trust starts to grow, control naturally loosens. This is important. Food is not the issue. It's that control, because that control breaks trust. Awareness builds curiosity. So if you're looking for somewhere to start, don't add more rules. Start simple. Get curious. And most importantly, trust yourself that what you're doing is enough. Always be real.